Am I the only one that didn't know ghosts could leave voicemails? It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, right? But what if I told you that this actually happened to someone? Imagine the shock, the disbelief, the sheer terror of receiving a message from someone who has long since passed away. This is the story of Sarah and the chilling voicemail she received one fateful night. This is going to blow your mind. Sarah was just an ordinary woman, living an ordinary life. She had a stable job, a cozy apartment, and a circle of friends who she cherished. But there was one thing that set her apart from others: the tragic loss of her mother 3 years ago. They had been incredibly close, and her mother's death had left a void in Sarah's heart that nothing could fill. One night, as Sarah was getting ready for bed, her phone buzzed. It was a notification for a new voicemail. She thought it was odd because she rarely received voicemails anymore. Most people preferred texting or calling directly. She picked up her phone, curious about who might have left her a message at such a late hour. It was a voicemail from her mum. Sarah's heart skipped a beat. How could this be? Her mum had passed away 3 years ago. She stared at the screen, her mind racing with questions. Was this some kind of sick joke? Or perhaps a glitch in the system? She hesitated for a moment, her finger hovering over the play button. Odd, since her mum had passed away 3 years ago. The memories of her mother's funeral came flooding back. The grief, the tears, the final goodbye. It was all too real. And now, here was a message from beyond the grave. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. She took a deep breath and pressed play. Curiosity mixed with dread as she pressed play. The room seemed to grow colder, and the air felt heavy with anticipation. Sarah's hand trembled as she held the phone to her ear, waiting to hear the voice she thought she would never hear again. Her mother's voice was clear, but eerily calm. It was unmistakably her mother's voice, but there was something different about it. It lacked the warmth and familiarity that Sarah remembered. Instead, it was cold and distant, sending shivers down her spine. "Sarah, I've been trying to reach you. Why aren't you answering? It's so cold here." The words echoed in Sarah's mind. Her mother sounded desperate, almost pleading. It was as if she was trapped somewhere, trying to reach out to her daughter for help. Sarah's heart ached with a mix of fear and sorrow. "Come see me, please." Sarah's heart pounded. The message ended abruptly, leaving Sarah in stunned silence. She replayed the message, hoping to find some clue, some explanation for this bizarre occurrence. But it was the same every time. Her mother's voice, the coldness, the plea for help. She checked the date on the voicemail. Maybe there was some mistake, some logical explanation for all of this. But what she found only deepened the mystery. It had been left at 3 a.m., exactly the time her mum had passed. The significance of the time was not lost on Sarah. It was as if her mother had reached out from the other side at the exact moment of her death. The coincidence was too eerie to ignore. Suddenly her phone rang again. The sudden sound made Sarah jump. Her heart raced as she looked at the screen. It was an unknown number. Who could be calling her at this hour? And could it be related to the voicemail she had just received? This time it was an unknown number. Sarah hesitated, her mind filled with 1,000 questions. Should she answer it? What if it was another message from her mother? Or worse, what if it was something more sinister? With shaking hands, she answered. "Hello?" Her voice was barely a whisper, her throat dry with fear. She braced herself for whatever might come next. Her mother's voice whispered, "I'm right outside." The words sent a jolt of terror through Sarah. She felt a cold sweat break out on her forehead. How could this be happening? She rushed to the window, her heart pounding in her chest. A knock echoed from the front door. Sarah froze, her mind racing. Should she open it? What if it really was her mother? Or what if it was something else entirely? The knock came again, more insistent this time. Sarah took a deep breath and slowly made her way to the door, her hand trembling as she reached for the handle. What she found on the other side would change her life forever.